Ever feel like the world is built on lies?
Oh, yeah.
That's the premise of Climactic Trilogy of Forbidden Love, the show we're diving into today.
Right.
But what the story really gets into is what you do with that knowledge.
Yeah.
Like how you react when everything you thought you knew is shattered.
What's fascinating is how the show sets up this seemingly perfect kingdom to really drive that point home.
Right.
You've got a beloved royal family, a trusted pastor as their advisor. It all feels very safe and stable.
Yeah.
But under the surface, there's this ticking time bomb of secrets just waiting to explode.
Exactly. We meet Queen Amara, this young, idealistic ruler who genuinely wants to make things better for her people.
Yeah.
And then there's Pastor Ezekiel, a spiritual leader who seems totally devoted to his flock.
Right.
You get the sense that they both truly believe in the goodness of their kingdom. They're not in on it.
Yeah.
Which makes the discovery of those hidden documents all the more shocking.
Oh.
It turns out the royal family's ancestors seized power through treachery and betrayal.
Right.
And the kingdom we see is built on a foundation of lies.
Lies.
Talk about a family secret.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just some dusty old history either. The documents also reveal that Pastor Ezekiel is a direct descendant of the rightful rulers.
Whoa.
It's like finding out your family history is a Shakespearean tragedy.
It throws everything into chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, the queen is grappling with the horrific actions of her ancestors.
Right.
And Ezekiel's having a major identity crisis.
Huge.
Does he embrace his claim to the throne?
Right.
Even if it means upending everything he believes in?
And lurking in the shadows is Mama Zola, this ambitious figure who sees the whole situation as her ticket to power.
Oh, yeah.
Think about a time when you saw someone at work claw their way to the top, no matter who they hurt. That's Mama Zola's energy.
Yeah.
And the show makes you wonder, is that ever worth it?
Right.
Is it ever worth it to just totally screw everyone over?
Well, Mama Zola is a master manipulator.
Oh, yeah.
She forges documents implicating Amara in covering up her family's past,
Wow.
knowing it'll turn the villagers against the queen.
So she's framing Amara for the cover-up?
She is
Not just for the original sin.
She's framing her for the cover-up. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's playing the long game,
Mhm.
aiming to secure power in whatever new government emerges.
It all leads to this incredibly intense public trial where Amara has to answer for the sins of her ancestors. Can you imagine the pressure? Your whole world is crumbling,
Yeah.
and everyone's looking to you for answers.
It's a crucible for Amara's character.
Yeah.
She can easily lie, try to hold on to power,
Right.
and perpetuate the cycle of deceit.
Yeah.
But she makes a different choice.
Right. She delivers this incredible speech where she basically says, I was born into a legacy of lies, but I refuse to continue it.
Powerful.
She chooses truth over power, even if it means exile.
Wow.
This is where I really sat up and paid attention. It's like, how many times in life do we compromise our values just to keep things easy?
It's true.
Amara makes you rethink that.
It's a powerful moment that
Yeah.
forces the audience to ask themselves, what would I do in that situation?
Right.
Would you cling to a comfortable lie?
Yeah.
Or would you stand up for what's right, even if it costs you everything?
And the crazy thing is, this is just the beginning.
No.
Amara's choice to embrace the truth sets off a chain reaction that completely transforms the kingdom. And that's what we'll get into next time. Now you might be thinking, good, the bad guys are gone.
Right.
But part 2 of Climactic Trilogy of Forbidden Love gets into something way more relevant to all of us. How even well-intentioned revolutions can go wrong.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The first act was about exposing the lies at the heart of the kingdom. But the second act takes a hard look at the unintended consequences of that truth being revealed.
With Amara gone, Mama Zola and Kwame seize power, promising a new era for the villagers. But let's just say their version of change isn't exactly what people had in mind.
No.
It's like that saying, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Right.
But the show goes deeper.
Yeah.
Is it inevitable that power corrupts? Or are there ways to break that cycle?
It makes you think.
Well, Mama Zola definitely falls into that power corrupts category.
Yeah.
She starts hoarding resources, living it up while the people struggle.
Why not?
It's almost like she was just waiting for her chance to exploit the situation.
Yeah.
And Kwame,
Yeah.
he becomes obsessed with consolidating power.
Uh-huh.
He's paranoid, suspicious of everyone.
Oh, gosh.
It's like watching someone get swallowed whole by the very system they were trying to change.
Right.
And here's where the visuals in the show are amazing.
Okay.
Remember that raid on the council chambers? It's not just a fire, it's like the symbol of all their hopes going up in smoke.
Yeah.
Made me think of that time when, well, let's just say I've had some projects go down.
That scene really highlights the cyclical nature of power. The very people who fought against tyranny become the oppressors.
Right.
It shows that systems of governance matter as much as individual intentions.
It's a stark reminder that tearing down a corrupt system is only half the battle.
Yeah.
You need a vision for what comes next.
Right.
A plan for building something better. Or you risk just recreating the same problems all over again.
But even in this darkness, a spark of resistance emerges.
Yeah.
Amara's loyalists, those who still believe in her vision, go underground.
Okay.
They refuse to accept Kwame and Mama Zola's rule.
Which brings us to Ezekiel. Now, up until this point, he's been kind of passive,
Right.
wrestling with his guilt over his family's deception. But this is where he makes a choice that changes everything.
No.
It's like that moment in your career when you realize you can't stay silent anymore. You have to take a stand.
His decision to join the resistance marks a turning point in his journey.
Right.
He's finally taking responsibility for his actions.
Yeah.
And fighting against the very system that he once benefited from.
And they come up with this daring plan to expose Kwame and Mama Zola's corruption.
Okay.
They raid the council chambers, uncover incriminating evidence.
Right.
It's a moment of truth,
Yeah.
but it comes at a cost. The confrontation leads to chaos and destruction.
Oh, gosh.
The council chambers are set ablaze.
Right.
Kwame escapes, but Mama Zola is caught and forced to confess her betrayal. It's a tragic victory that leaves the villagers reeling, their hopes dashed once again. And Amara, watching from her exile, knows she can't stay on the sidelines any longer.
Right.
She realizes she has to go back and fight for her people. Kwame's on the run. Mama Zola's been exposed.
Right.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Well, it would have been easy for Amara to just stay in exile, right?
Yeah.
To say, look, this is their mess now. But that's not Amara.
She can't just abandon everyone.
No, she chooses to go back.
Okay, but she's not going back for revenge, is she?
Not at all.
It feels different.
This is about leadership on a whole other level.
Yeah.
She's learned from the mistakes of her ancestors,
Right.
and she gets it now.
What does she get?
That true power isn't about control, it's about service.
But she's walking into a war zone, right?
Yeah,
Kwame still has loyalists.
he does.
He's got mercenaries. The villagers are scared.
It's a dangerous situation.
How does she even begin to turn things around?
This is where Ezekiel's journey comes full circle.
Okay.
He spent all this time wrestling with his guilt.
His family's deception, the weight of all that history.
Exactly. Now he chooses to use his lineage.
But not for power.
Yeah,
Not
not for
right.
personal gain.
So what's he doing?
He's using it to help Amar rebuild.
So it's not just Amar versus Kwame anymore.
No, it's become something much bigger.
It's about two different visions for the future.
Exactly. They form this
This
alliance.
is the alliance.
It brings together everyone who still believes in a better future.
Okay, so who is that?
You've got villagers, elders, even some of the former royal guard.
Wow, so even people who were on the wrong side before.
Yeah, it's like those moments in history where people put aside their differences.
Because they know what's at stake.
The stakes are that high.
So the final battle's coming.
It is.
I'm guessing it's more than just swords and shields.
Oh, it's visually stunning.
Special effects and all that.
But what really got me was the contrast between Kwame and Amara.
Okay, how so?
Kwame's fighting out of fear, desperation.
He's clinging to power.
Yeah, he'll burn the whole place down just for one.
Wow, and Amara.
He's fighting for something bigger than himself.
For the future.
Their hope for the future.
And then there's Ezekiel.
Yeah.
He makes the ultimate sacrifice right,
He does.
shielding Amara from a fatal blow.
Powerful moment.
It makes you think about redemption.
Definitely.
Like, can anyone truly redeem themselves?
And what does that cost?
It's not always easy
No, it's a turning point.
for how we view redemption.
Exactly. Ezekiel proves that even someone who's been on the wrong side,
Can make a choice that changes everything.
it's never too late.
So Amara, she defeats Kwame.
She does.
But it feels different this time.
It's not just about winning a war.
It's about what comes after.
Right? Remember all that talk about the cyclical nature of power?
Mm-hmm.
Amara breaks that cycle.
How does she do that?
She establishes a new system of governance,
Okay, what's it like?
one where power is shared, where everyone has a voice.
So they actually learn from their mistakes.
They do.
They tear down a bad system and build something better?
And they build a memorial to Ezekiel,
Oh, wow.
a constant reminder of the sacrifice it took to get there.
It's like they're saying, we'll never forget.
And we'll do better.
Climactic trilogy of forbidden love started with a world built on lies.
Yeah.
But it ends with this hard-won truth.
What's that?
That even in the darkest times, change is possible.
It's a powerful message.
It might take sacrifice. It might be messy.
But we have the power to break those cycles.
To create something better.
And that's a message for all of us.
No matter what we're facing.
Whether it's in our own lives, our communities, or the world at large. We can choose to be like Amara and Ezekiel.
To fight for truth.
To challenge corrupt systems.
Is just a future where power is used for good.
So as you go back to your world, ask yourself, what legacy are you building?
What choices will you make to create a better tomorrow?